I want you to talk to me because of the people watching. Like, I think pots are in the kitchen to cook pasta. Can you explain to me the pots that you're talking about?
Yes. So that is postural. So think standing, postural, orthostatic, which is your like the thing that makes your blood move around. Tachycardia, so your heart can get tachycardic syndrome, which is a syndrome. So basically, what that means is that when I stand or move or basically just live my life, people used to think it was just when you were standing, and it's just like, no, I mean, we are kind of always moving. My blood doesn't quite properly get around my body properly. Yeah. And so the blood doesn't get to my brain properly, or if I eat, the blood will go to my stomach to try and help digest that food, and I'll lose blood from my brain. So, like, after I eat, I don't feel well every time.
Wow.
Every time. If I move too much, like, for example, my cat got out yesterday. I had to chase her down the steps. I had to hand off the cat to my wife and go sit because I was about to faint. Like, it just little
Okay.
things like that. It's just, I hate to say it ruins, but it impacts your day-to-day life 100%. And it's like, people are like, but you don't look disabled. And I'm like, what does that even mean? It's like the same with you don't
Yeah.
look autistic. What does that
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
So,
but also people can say, you, like, for example, something I have, you don't look like you're suffering from a vestibular migraine. It's like, what the heck? Are you in my inner ears? What are you talking about?
yeah.
Like I get really bad vestibular migraines, so the kind of the ear balance thing, and like even just moving with the trunk of my body to look on the down the aisles of supermarkets, like you're trying to find stuff on the shelf. I'm like, I'll just about vomit if I do it too quick. This is the thing, right? There's so many parts of different conditions that really impact your quality of life. Now, from what you've just described, that is a bloody living hell, mate. Now, is that since childhood? Is that a diagnosis you've had all your life?
No. So I got diagnosed when I was 23. So, for example, in gym class, whenever we would run the mile in elementary school, I was always like back with like the disabled kids, and I never knew
Okay.
why because I was one of them. I didn't have the stamina. So, like, I would start out with all the rest of the kids, and then I would just slowly kind of fall back, fall back, fall back because I would get so tired. And
Yeah.
I remember looking up like tech in my gym teacher just be like, "You're not breathing through your mouth. You're not doing this right. You're not doing this right." And like I remember going home and looking at techniques on like how to run better and how to run longer and faster, and I just couldn't because he
Yeah.
wanted me to run a mile. I can't run a mile. Then I could do a quarter mile and keep up with all the kids. Not now. I could do a quarter mile and keep up with all the kids, but then I would start to fall back. So that is probably one of the first instances that I realized like something kind of clicked in my brain, and I was like, wait a second, that doesn't make sense. So then I got older and I started having trouble climbing the steps. I started having a lot of pain in my knees. And then the heart stuff started. So while I was climbing the steps, my heart would just like boom 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 boom, and like it would just keep going up and up and up. So then as I got older, by the time I would get up to the top of the steps, I'd be like falling back because I'd be like near fainting and like doing things like standing up. Like it just started getting worse and worse and worse. So then I was like, okay, something isn't right here, And so then I went to a cardiologist, and for years I was told it was my anxiety, all this stuff, because I would be like telling the doctors like I'm fainting, I'm having heart palpitations, all this stuff, and they were like, it's just your anxiety, it's just because you're a teenager, da 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 da, it's because you're on your period, da 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 da, and it's just like it was none. I mean, yeah, I probably had a little anxiety, but that's not why that was happening.
Mm.
And so then finally, I got a tilt table test from a cardiologist, and he put me on the thing. And what it is, they strap you on this tilt table, and they literally tilt you up until you can hear your heartbeat throughout the room because they have you hooked up to all these monitors. And so as I'm going up, you just hear my heart rate increase like crazily. And and I went, I don't feel good. And he went, get her down. He went, you've POTS.